Welcome to the third Laird Thermal Systems Thermal Wizard product training module. This presentation will introduce our advanced thermal management tool with an example demonstrating our air cooling calculator. Laird Thermal Systems has developed the Thermal Wizard to help solve the challenge of selecting the right thermal management solution to meet specified or unknown cooling requirements. It also solves the issue of developing trial designs to solve what-if scenarios and knowing when to engage with a thermal solution vendor to prototype custom configurations. The Thermal Wizard is designed to help engineers quickly determine the optimum cooling solution based on their cooling requirement. Whether your application requires a thermoelectric cooler, thermoelectric cooler assembly, or liquid cooling system, the Thermal Wizard is a web-based specification and selection tool that links product search to thermal calculators to product availability. If you know your heat load or desired cooling requirement, you can use the QC slider. This has two major outputs: the actual cooling capacity required, QC, and the temperature differential, delta T. Delta T is the temperature difference obtained across the thermoelectric device. In this example, we will estimate a QC requirement of 150 watts with a delta T of 0 degrees C. Now hit search and the results will appear below. The selection of 150 watts at a delta T of 0 degrees will produce a number of thermoelectric coolers and assemblies. We will ignore the thermoelectric cooler options for now, since we are looking for an enclosure cooling solution to cool a volume of air. In this example, we will choose the SAA 170-2422. Next, we will click this part number and access the active datasheet. If we need samples for engineering evaluation, we can check stock by clicking the Buy Now button. So how do we take this general requirement and make it more specific to fit our application? First, we verify that the mechanical layout of the part is correct for our application. Then we can turn to correcting the thermal requirements we will use in our application. With our application requirements specified, we can now observe how voltage level impacts performance. So if the desired operating voltage is 24 volts, we can see that the unit gets 167 watts of cooling. If voltage is then reduced to 20 volts, the cooling requirement of 150 watts will still be met. This means there is an option to operate the assembly from 20 to 24 volts. If the cooling capacity requirement, QC, of your application is unknown, the Thermal Wizard provides 4 calculators: device cooling, enclosure cooling, air cooling, and liquid cooling, each with pre-programmed examples to help you define the QC value and quickly get your design underway. In this product training module, we will focus on the air cooling calculator. In our first example, we will use the air cooling calculator to determine the QC requirement for a gas cooler application. Since we don't have an example that exactly matches our application, we will input the required data. In this gas cooler example, we will have a max airflow of 8 liters per minute. While the maximum inlet temperature will be 43 degrees C, we will change the outlet temperature to 5 degrees C. We will leave the relative humidity at 50%. As we have been changing these specifications, the cooling requirements have been changing in the calculation results, where QC is now 5.6 watts. Click Search to see the results. This search generates a number of thermoelectric coolers and assemblies that support these specifications. Since we are concerned with space, we will limit our selection to the thermoelectric coolers CP10-63 or CP10-71. To check availability for these parts, click the Buy Now buttons on this page or from the product datasheets. In summary, the Thermal Wizard is an advanced thermal management tool that helps determine the optimum cooling solution based on your application requirements. When you don't know your cooling requirement, the Thermowizard's 4 different QC calculators provide pre-programmed examples for different heat transfer applications. The Thermowizard not only provides standard solutions, it will also determine when you may need to engage a thermal expert to customize a thermal solution.